OG names and accounts are things that can be found on any game or website, from OG Fortnite skins to Twitter accounts with GIF profile pictures. But few of these have as much history and variety as Minecraft does. I've covered one aspect of this in a previous video of mine about the special capes Mojang has given in the past, but there's multiple other types of OG accounts in Minecraft, the most obvious being usernames. If you've played Minecraft multiplayer, you'll most likely have seen a couple of these around, from one-word names to two-character IGNs. But there is another strange type of Minecraft IGN, rarer than regular OG names, and often completely unable to join multiplayer servers. I'm talking about invalid usernames. Invalid accounts are one of Minecraft's biggest mysteries. There are only a few theories as to how they were even created in the first place, let alone the many other issues that these strange names create. So in this video, I'm going to be taking you through the stories behind some of these accounts, how we think they were created, and the issues that they cause in the game. I was also actually given temporary access to one of these accounts that's never been seen on YouTube before to test some things out and to gather footage for the video, so make sure to stick around for that. But without further ado, make sure to subscribe and enjoy the video. Firstly though, I'm going to explain exactly what an invalid account is. Much like other games, Minecraft only allows you to use the common English letters and numbers as well as underscores in your name. If you try to change your name to something with anything other than these characters, such as a space or a period, the website simply says you're not allowed to and rejects it. This seemingly wasn't the case for certain accounts though, as there was a handful of accounts that have some of these invalid characters in their name. They're of course incredibly rare and simply can't be made anymore, but there are theories as to how they were once made. Contrary to what most people think, most invalid accounts weren't created during the earliest days of the game. In fact, most invalid accounts were created between the 13th and the 15th of September in 2011. In short, this created the leading theory that for some reason, the restrictions for what characters you could use were turned off by complete accident, and in those few days, people had registered accounts with strange names without even realizing it was an issue. This is further proved by conversations with original owners of these accounts. The owner of an invalid by the name of KaiKaiJu11, now not carried, recently said, "I was 11 and I had no idea I couldn't use a hashtag. I have no idea why it accepted it. Why do you ask?" It was quite clear that the user had no idea it was rare at the time or even now. If you look at the name history of this account, the name was changed from KaiKaiJu11 with the invalid character to the same name without it. People are still questioning whether it was him that changed it without realizing it was rare, or if it was forcefully done by Mojang and several purges made, but I'll go into that later. Lastly, there is one other type of invalid that could be created just a few months ago, back in 2019. When Minecraft updated their website, they temporarily had the name change feature on their Minecraft.net domain rather than Mojang.com. It turned out during this time there was a decently well-known glitch where you could change the capitalization of two character names, something that you usually can't do. One person by the name of Unexpected Hit figured out you could do that with any name, and not just with capitalization. You could change the letters to other variants, such as letters with accents. Simply put, it would have allowed me to change my name to anything similar to what's on screen now. This led to him updating his name to have an invalid I variant in it, and confusing everyone in the community while he was at it. It turns out, these names caused pretty major issues on multiplayer servers. Many of these accounts don't work in server commands like I found out while trying to get background footage for this video. Many accounts, especially those with spaces, couldn't actually be banned from servers. This is actually why Hypixel doesn't allow invalid accounts. The account Y-93 could cheat indefinitely, bypassing staff and Watchdog. This also seemed to be an issue on smaller servers with people making Reddit posts about their personal encounters. One user as recently as 2015 wrote, "My moderators were complaining that they couldn't ban space green arrow. I took a look at Mojang's UUID database and it confirmed that he does have a space in his name. These players are effectively immune to commands, meaning green arrow can't be banned." He also added that he had no idea how it happened, but it was most likely when registering a username. There are other issues as well. Many accounts find issues when joining certain or all multiplayer servers. This is where it gets really complicated and confusing. Certain characters and types of invalids seem to block you from joining different types of servers. For example, names with spaces seem to have the least trouble, but accounts with periods in them such as Mr. Lol can barely join any. As I said earlier, I was given temporary access to an invalid account by the name of Mr. Whenever I tried to join any server with administration plugins or mods, it would simply return an error message saying my username contained invalid characters or something similar. But on more vanilla servers or those with different plugins, I could log in fine. The main issue though affects another type of invalid account I haven't actually talked about yet. Accounts with over the limit of 16 characters in their name can't access any servers and are only usable in single player worlds. This doesn't pose that much of an issue though, as there's only around 3 of these in existence anymore. There's a Minecraft forums post from as early as July 2011 from a user named Dr. Sakuya PhD stating that he was having trouble joining some servers and was being shown the error message, "Your player name is not set, contains invalid characters or is too short/long. The issue here is that his IGN has a period in it, and servers with particular administration mods prevented him from joining because they didn't know how to handle the strange name. The most interesting part of this post for me is that it was made in 2011 and you couldn't even change your name, so all the replies said that his only option was to just create a new account. Something else interesting that I found when researching for this video is that on NameMC, a popular website used to look for names and accounts, there is an issue when searching for some of these invalid accounts, especially those with periods in the name. For example, if you search for the account Mr.Lol, the website treats it as if it's a server, not a name due to the period. This means that to view an account like this, you have to change the word server in the URL to either name or profile. Amongst other things, all these issues eventually persuaded Mojang to do something about it. It's believed that at least once between 2015 and 2017, they purged many of the invalid accounts that they knew about. This eventually took the count down from possibly thousands to just 50 that are known about now. Many of these aren't even accessed. Of course, a couple of these could have just been the account owner changing the name without realizing, but it's clear that in many cases there was Mojang involvement. For example, if you look at the name histories of two of my favourite invalids, Say What and One Cream, you can see that the names were changed within seconds of each other on the 19th of February 2015. The story is the same for Kaiju 11, which I talked about earlier, as well as multiple others. For unknown reasons though, some accounts weren't just name changed but instead locked or even deleted. For example, the account was changed to a regular U, then deleted entirely from the game for unknown reasons, similar to a few other one-character names were. I mentioned earlier that at certain points there was thousands of these accounts created. From extensive research done over the years by the Minecraft community, it is evident that there was a lot of these. In certain Reddit posts, you can find pastebins detailing hundreds of these names that have been seen on different servers. There's also a few cases of one-character names being completely unsearchable in NameMC for some reason. The accounts Underscore and FruityCake, previously One, bring up server errors when searched on the website, so you have to use separate websites such as MC Skin History to see the names. The best guess as to why this happens is that there's something invalid with the UUID of the account, but it's hard to tell. To quote one of my sources for this video, these accounts are mysterious. Nobody knows what the hell they are, why they have those skins, how they got the capes, who's owned them in the past, or even if they're just test accounts. They just kinda showed up. As I've mentioned in many other videos, if there's something rare in the Minecraft community, people will find a way to get their hands on it. Invalids were no exception to this rule. The first few of these accounts to ever be stolen were User Unknown, Y93, Mr. Lol, and Adolf Hitler. All of these accounts were eventually changed away from the invalids except for Mr. Lol, which was eventually locked due to the owner using the account to scam people. After these four were jacked, it took some time before any other accounts were recovered. But a while later, Rogue Trooper, Oh My God, and Daniel B, amongst a few others, were eventually stolen and sold around the community for a while, before they succumbed to the same fate. Around the same time these accounts were stolen, one of the most famous and interesting accounts was also recovered, the $sign account. The $sign account was originally jacked by a well-known hacker in the community, the same person who stole the Mojang account I covered in my Cape video. The email account was recovered with a certain message used to jack many accounts, with the password found not long after. It would usually have taken much longer to hijack accounts like this, but it turns out that the password for this account was just cha-ching, all lowercase and no special symbols. So this shows that it does pay to have a decent password for your account. In the end though, it ended up being banned on the Hive for the reason reported to Mojang. So when it went inactive, it's presumed that it was either locked due to its name or the fact that it was hacked. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching this video. There's a little bit more that I wish I could cover, but a lot of these invalid accounts that are still active at the moment are at big risk from being locked or changed by Mojang, so I can't go into a couple of the things that I'd like to. But I hope I did cover a lot of the things that would keep you all interested, and if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.